What's up, guys? If you want to understand how to break into the business continuity industry, this chat is for you. I'm gonna be talking to Gianna Detoni, a superstar when you're talking about resilience, founder of Pantarai. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy this one because we're gonna be talking about education, soft skills training, certifications, and how we can get more women to this industry. Guys, I am sure this conversation will be valuable for you. So, if you enjoyed, please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. Let's go. Gianna, before we start anything, I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience.
I am in the, well, uh, I'm quite old. I have worked for many, many years. I started working in the late 70s. And I started in the industry, in the resilience industry, I would say 20 years ago. I came from a background that I was part of the most important American bank for many, many years, where I managed technology and operations internationally. Eventually, the bank asked me to lead the program of coordinating the implementation of the business continuity management system for all the Europe, Africa, and Middle East. I fell in love with the resilience part of, the support functions. In 2009, I left the bank and created my own enterprise, and we are trainers and consultants of resilience, business continuity, crisis management, and enterprise risk management.
An amazing trajectory, Gianna, an amazing career, and that's why this is the reason why so many people follows you uh, when you are talking about business continuity and resilience. So now I understand fully.
Well, it's a fantastic word. I always encourage people to go deeper, understand this word in depth, because I don't know anybody that has been affected by the resilience tasks that didn't really get passionate about it. It's really something that when you start and when you apply yourself to it, you find out that you can really change. It's very important. You feel useful in
Mm-hmm.
this task.
Now that's a very good point, Gianna. But you are mentioned right. Once someone touches anything related to resilience, they will fall in love, and I agree with that. But I think there is a lot of awareness that needs to be created, right, for this industry to show to people why it is so important, why it is so good to be into this industry. But imagine the situation that we already created this awareness. There's a lot of people wanting to go into this industry. Uh, for those people, there are young professionals that they are deciding which career path they want to follow, or for those that are in the middle of their careers and wants to make a transition to the resiliency industry. When you're talking about education, so educational wise, Gianna, what would be your recommendation for one to go and say, okay, those are either the colleges that I need to do? What is the fundamentally first step when you're talking about education to get into this industry?
Well, the organizational resilience requires some knowledge of what an organization is. So, what it's important is that you understand, even if you start in the business continuity or in the resilience role, it's very important that you try and get a knowledge of why your organization exists. What are the primary and core clients, products, services, and what are the primary risks. But you don't need much else, to start. The important thing is that in this in resilience, 50% is practice and 50% is academy, I would
Mm-hmm.
say. Academy, you can raise it, you can grow through courses, you can grow through your own self-education, reading about things. And when you start taking, being part of these disciplines, you open the newspapers and you see, inspirations about,
Hmm.
events that happened that shouldn't have happened and needed prevention. So it's a continuous education. You have to start with courses because, as I always say, resilience is a discipline of common sense.
Hmm.
You have to manage risk. That's obviously you have to manage risk. You have to guarantee continuity. You have to prepare for a crisis. Everything is obvious, but unfortunately common sense is not so common. Everybody thinks they have enough common sense, they don't need to implement anything. There are now methodologies that can be implemented technically,
Hmm.
that help an organization to approach multiple risks coming from multiple sources, and they can be managed, and they can really protect and defend the organization.
Hmm.
Now, the problem, as I see it, is that you need a strong personality as a resilience manager, to make sure that people, you have to shake up people and ensure they don't stick to the to the conviction that they can do by improvising and they can manage by problem solving
Hmm.
abilities they have and they have always used. The stories is full of victims, it's full of dead people, it's full of tragedies, provoked by the fact that we thought we could manage without,
Hmm.
without prevention and without a methodology.
Yeah, you touch such a variety of good points, Gianna. So you mentioned that business continuity is 50% practice and 50% courses, right? This is basic knowledge. So for someone that are looking for, okay, I want to go into this industry, and considering that we are in this online world, we don't need to spend a lot of time, many years doing a lot of courses. It's better do some courses, understand this industry, understand the business of your client, of the organization that you would like to work with, and go into the practice. Without that,
Yes.
you won't succeed. But you mentioned a lot about common sense, right? The way you position yourself. So you are leaning towards a lot of from a soft skill perspective. And I'm gonna put my perspective, Gianna. I am way far to be an expert as you in this industry, but this is my perspective, and I would love to hear your thoughts. The way I see the industry is you are everyone that works in this industry are in a very tough and difficult position. And why I'm mentioning that? Because it is not easy to for everyone into the organization understand how important it is to have that group work with the organization. Because most of the time are things like, oh, I didn't know that we had so much effort to make things ongoing. So nobody sees unless we have a problem. So the way you position yourself, the way you sell your tasks, your job is super important. Because probably the discussion you're gonna have with the executive is not, okay, I'm gonna do that because I'm increasing your revenue. No, it's gonna be, you need to invest on that to avoid these losses in the future. Because in the case that something happens, this would be the impact. It's a totally different type of conversation. It is not easy. So your selling skill must be as good as any salesperson. This is my perspective because you keep need to selling your job. You need to keep showing. So communication skill, selling skills, even motivation skills to motivate people to understand about the industry to work along with you is super important. So my question to you, Gianna, how can someone get either training or experience or learn how to improve their soft skills to be successful in this industry?
I know many people that have the soft skill as as natural. They do have communication skills. They do have personality, but they never convince their top management about
Mhm.
investing in business continuity. So in terms of what is the most important characteristic that a business continuity manager has to have, I always say it's courage,
Mm-hmm.
because you need courage to go to that one person and convince her or convince him that that's her business. It's actually his business. It's not somebody else's business. It's very, very important that they put their head over this problem, and if they don't have a resilience, a resilient organization, they're not doing their job. Now, to talk to the senior people, you need the right language, and
Mm-hmm.
the right language and the confidence, to talk to these people comes from experience, comes from the fact that you know what you're talking about. So when you participate in the courses, in our courses, sometimes the biggest satisfaction we get is that the people participating to our courses tell us that they now have the language to go knock at the door and talk about
Mm-hmm.
why it's important. So it's quite important to get from experienced people the facts and the risks of
Mm-hmm.
not doing it. And also, um, I always I'm very confident that this is the most important thing that a CEO has to implement in an organization. I come from an organization where our CEO was very keen on having a very resilient organization, and
Mm-hmm.
that reflects on profits as well. So if you want to be a modern, innovative manager, you have to use this kind of words. You have to say to your top manager, if our organization wants to be modern and innovative, can't be without a business continuity management system. You have to touch the right nerves, and also you have to ensure they see a future where implementing something that you implement, obviously hoping that you will never use it, because you
Mm-hmm.
implement a business crisis management or business continuity thinking, I hope I will never have to use, because I don't want any disruption, I don't want any disaster. Because while you do it, you understand the context of your organization in a much better way. You
Mm-hmm.
understand, you analyze all the priority products and services and activities that your organization has, the priority resources. You find the strategies and solutions. You enhance everything you're doing. It's a most powerful organizational tool, and you can tell this to people, and they will realize it later after they have done it. But that's not a minor part. It's a very important part. I like saying that it's like when you pay an insurance for your car. Obviously, at the end of the year, if you didn't have any accident, you have to pay the insurance. It's
Mm-hmm.
important. But at the end of the year, if you had an accident, you actually have thrown away that money.
Mm-hmm.
This is like paying an insurance. You start with the year with a small and rotten car, and you end up with a very nice Ferrari at the end of the year, fully accessorized and
Mm-hmm.
shining car. Because while you pay this, you are prepared for accidents that you don't want to happen. But while you do it, you also improve and make it more robust
Mm-hmm.
and improve everything in your organization.
That's very good points, Gianna. But we are talking about a little bit in general, right? Courses, education, and soft skills, and a little bit of guidance how to act as a good person in this industry. But I would like to put a different set of professionals. If I would ask you at the beginning of this conversation, and we said how a as a woman can break into this industry, any of your answers would be different. I think I know the answer, but I would like to hear from you. So if we discuss about women, right? Because I know that is an amazing initiative, the Women in Resilience, right? To try to bring more women to this industry because we know how important it is. What would be your recommendation, Gianna, for those women that are listening us today to get into this industry?
For women and also for young people and young women as well, the it's very important that we are um, we need to change the mentality of the people that think that to get in this industry you had to serve as in the military forces or in the enforcement laws, bodies. You don't have to do that. You don't need muscles. You don't need. You need obviously. Those people are welcome in this world and they are doing very well. But these are disciplines of prevention. You need to make up strategies. You need to prepare people. You need to talk to people. You need to make the whole organization aware
Mm-hmm.
that the resilience is a task for everyone. So you don't need, you just need a brain. And I'm sure both young people and women do have brains as well as anybody else. So it's I encourage people to come to this world and approach this world and uh, be confident that they can make it. It's it's quite. I think women in certain characteristic are even better in this world because we know how to manage a crisis on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Very often women are sort of strategists of crisis in their personal life. It's a difficult task, not just for the resilience word, obviously, it's also for any technical kind of word. But um, in this particular example, we have to look at the statistics and improve the statistics. We have to make sure we get more women. If we have an imbalance, we have to try and get the balance. So I encourage the organization to have a balance also in the business continuity teams,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously the organization is made by different genders. So if you represent business continuity just in one way, it wouldn't be represented well.
I couldn't agree more, Gianna. Uh, but when you're talking about certifications, is there any certifications that you would recommend for someone that don't have experience that they can pursue and at least show to the employees, to the organizations, guys, I did all of these courses, I took these certifications, I am 50% ready to join your organization, because we know that the other 50% is practice.
I believe a lot in certifications. I believe in professional certifications. You have to choose well. You have to choose the good ones. There are also bad ones, but I do believe in professional certifications. And I think professional certification, it's a very good starting point. We've seen many organizations that look for certified people. We are a licensed training partner of the Business Continuity Institute. We certify people with the Business Continuity Institute. Many organizations ask us if we have identified a young person that they want to recruit. So it's a big satisfaction when that happens, and we are very happy. And we have helped many young people to find their way in the first job as well. So I definitely think that given the fact that resilience is not as popular as other disciplines, unfortunately, yet. The big advantage, though, is that it's not full of professionals. So if a young person wants to find, a job where there is not, it's not already fully predominated by masses of people, this is a very good vehicle because
Mm-hmm.
there are not so many experts in resilience. I would say that in the future, what I foresee also, maybe with the push we had with this pandemic tragedy, I think more and more organizations will start thinking about resilience.
This is a lot of stimulus for someone, and as you said at the beginning, right? When someone starts seeing the benefits to have or to be part of a business continuity team, everyone will fall in love, right? I'm sure about that. I would like to thank you very, very much again for being with me here today. It's, as I said, it's not every day that we have someone with your caliber to talk about how to get into this industry, and I'm sure it's going to be very valuable for everyone that is watching us today. So thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Gianna. Hopefully in the future I can grab more of your time.
Sure.
Who knows, we can
Whenever.
get like a joint conversation with, we can bring Margaret into this conversation also, and we have like a bigger podcast. But
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
and have a lovely evening, Gianna.